Netflix. Do you watch Netflix?
I do.
Okay. I assume they oppose the rollback of net neutrality regulations.
Correct, yeah.
Why?
Well, I think they argue that they don't want to have internet service providers potentially threatening their ability to have their customers stream content.
Are they just making this up? I mean, it just strikes me that so many of these people are so upset about it, and the volume and the vitriol is so strong that it can't just be for nothing, can it?
Volume and vitriol are not substitutes for actual arguments. And if you look at the facts in the record with good faith, I think that people will recognize that these kinds of hyperbolic fears never materialized prior to 2015. But, I will say, there's a but. Going forward, we recognize that there is a risk here. We don't simply say, hands off, we're out of the business of regulating, period.
I'm going to read a tweet to you. From Keith Olbermann, former television host from MSNBC. A tweet to you. You will go down in history as one of the destroyers of free speech, of free press, and the First Amendment. To hell with you and your fellow fascists.
Wow.
What do you make of that?
Well, I mean, obviously coming from somebody who defends the right of people to have different points of view, I think I give it a lot of credence.
I mean, everyone says this is a free speech issue. Ajit Pai is the destroyer of free speech.
It's very odd to say that getting the government out of the business of regulating the internet is somehow destroying free speech, point number one. Point number two, a lot of the people who are saying things like that, and I would include that tweet among them, are the last to defend the pluralistic nature of American discourse.
You're making some changes, and it's causing a bit of controversy.
So I hear.
Yeah, a little bit of upset. For those who don't know what net neutrality is, if I were to define it based on what your critics say, it would be something like this. Freedom on the internet is now in jeopardy because we're handing over control of the internet to a very few, very large corporations. You know, people can see what the companies want them to see and can't see what the companies don't want them to see. Is that a fair assessment, you think?
I don't think it is for a couple of different reasons. Number one, previous to 2015, we had a free and open internet, and we didn't see that type of conduct happening. Secondly, the concept itself is so amorphous. I mean, it's essentially changed over the years into essentially whatever people want to read into it. And that's why I think you see some of these hyperbolic reactions.
2-3 over here.